enough room in this shack for the two of us. So it's either Uno or console. Pick your weapons. 10 paces. Give me a minute. Hey, what's going on, you guys? How's it going? We're getting stupid already. Swizzle stick in place of a Lucky Strike. What's up, Billy? How you guys doing? Eddie. Huckleberry it is, man. I gotta get my hot plate on here. Just made myself a cup of sleepy time tea. I need some downer action here. So, remember first, let me get this out of the way. So we'll do our life hacks thing. And there's probably only going to be a couple of you in here because most people have a life and they have better things to do than sit here and watch this foolishness. Missed the trash can. I'll fix that. Life hacks. Wednesday, 13th. This month's half over practically already. 13th, 2020, May. Drinking black coffee in the morning will save calories and jumpstart your digestive system for the day. Partly true. You know what works better? My aunt taught me this. And it works, man. And it will send you just a flying down the hall to the old porcelain throne. Right when you wake up, drink a glass of lukewarm water. That will really jumpstart. Plus, it's not a diuretic. But it's something to do with that lukewarm water, man. Oh, yeah. That'll clean you right out there, mister. The Daily Extra. 25 years ago, actor Christopher Reeve was paralyzed. Yeah, I remember this, right? From falling from his horse in a... Wow, how appropriate is this? Falling from his horse in a riding competition in May 1995. His heroic efforts to return to acting and to promote awareness of spinal cord injuries in the years that followed inspired fans worldwide. Boy, is this whole day right out of an old Western movie or what? What's up, Randy? Mark. How's it going, Mark? And I don't know what happened there. Yeah. Like I always say, Billy, a hot, fresh, steamy turd on a Phoenix, Arizona street on a 120-degree summer day. There you go. You ever hear the saying, slicker than... There it is. No, it is not. So, a couple things. Remember we were chatting before about 30 meters, and I'm taking that dipole down. That vertical dipole doesn't work. So I was running some numbers. Let me show you this really quick. This is kind of, you know how I always get sidetracked, but I'm always working on multiple things at once. So I'll show you this. Yeah. This guy right here. Let me go over the other display so it's not a cluster. Oh man. So sleepy. It's just still cold here. It's freezing. A north wind ripping down the valley. The place is just ridiculous. It's supposed to be 63 tomorrow, though. Woohoo! Spider ride coming. You're not going to believe this. I almost dragged the keyboard, everything, cables and all, right off onto the floor. My chair hooked the headphone cable. This is a magnetic loop calculator from KI6. I think it's KI6GD. Excuse me. So, looking at building a 30-meter magnetic loop with that VVC that I showed you guys in a few streams back. Basically, I'm looking at, I'd like to do a two-turn, an 18-foot circumference loop, which is roughly about 9 feet in diameter. Would put me roughly, and these are fairly accurate, these calculators. If you build them pretty close, I'm using 3/4 inch copper tubing, HVAC tubing. You bend it by hand. 3/4 inch gives me about 40.5 puffs on capacitance to tune. 75% efficiency. And the bandwidth is what I'm looking for. 21.7 kilohertz of bandwidth. That's very cool. Now, what I'm thinking is maybe I can run a two-turn loop, which would be approximately 4.5 to probably 4.5 foot diameter, which would give me 9 foot circumference on each loop and make two turns. I'll have to play with the spacing, see if I can get it to work. But it should work. I built 3 of these that way, and they work really good. So, I don't know. We're going to try that. Anyways, that's what I'm kind of playing with. Looks like I've got about 3.7 kilovolts at the capacitor, which isn't much, believe it or not, at 100 watts. That's pretty good, darn good. And that's a 25 kilovolt capacitor. So with that efficiency, I could put legal limit into it if I wanted to, which I would not. No way. Andy, how's it going? Good to see you. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to run through, and I'm really going to try and keep this short, and I know I'm going to forget stuff because there's so much here. My head just started spinning when I tried to figure out exactly how I was going to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this on the fly, okay, as if I'm literally starting, if I'm just lighting up the software. So this is SDR Uno, and both of these pieces of software I have the RSP Duo running on them, okay? When you first see this software, it looks very complicated. Yes, it is. It's a complicated piece of software. I have mine laid out. You can save your workspaces right here. You see this says Save Workspace in this window? You click on this, and you can choose a workspace to save this in. I have this workspace saved as in the default 1 position. Now, let me go over the annoying things first about this software. Now, I have this piggyback to the 7300 and is synced to the 7300, and I use it for monitoring, right? Even though this workspace is saved, this is pretty much the only thing that's saved, okay? I use virtually all of these windows, so every time I open the software, I have to go here, I have to open this window, because this is the FFT options, and I'll show you why this is important, and I place that there, and I will open diversity. My diversity window pops up. For some reason, that always pops up in the same place, which is cool. I have to open this window. And here's an annoying thing. I go to grab it. It's the only window that does this. When I open it, I go to grab it, and the minute I move off, it disappears. So I have to actually move off screen and grab it. That just rags me to no end. Okay, then I have to go here, and I have to open this window. Now, do you have to open these? No, you don't. But if it's things that you use quite a bit, it's worth having them open. So I open them all up, get them all laid in here, okay? So now we're ready to go, right? So in this window, this is the main spectrum settings. So when you hit play, go ahead and start it up. There's a couple things you have to do, okay? And you don't, pay attention to what you have to do in the software to get it. Just get it up and going. And when you see me light up console, you'll immediately tell the difference. But there are some advantages and disadvantages to each piece of software. So this is what I'm going to go into. So when you first light it up, your bandwidth, I've got 6200 to 8100, right? So what I do is go to this RBW, and I click this, and this will help smooth out the pan adapter. Usually you have to click it 3 times, and then I expand the pan adapter out. Okay, and you can, this is a nice feature of this. You can drag this. You cannot do this in console. Okay, that is one nice feature. So I have diversity running right now. Right, so if I want the full bandwidth on 40 meters, I can put like this down around 7120, and 7300 is right here. So this is the entire bandwidth spectrum for the US amateur band. Okay. Now let's say I want to go from diversity to just the single antenna, just my primary transmit antenna. Click here, hit single, watch what happens. Now I'm back to ground zero again. I have to rezoom the pan adapter. Deal breaker? No. It's just, there's a lot of steps involved. So, okay, let's say you're on single, right? Actually, I'm going to do this first. I'll show you this first. So this is the reason why I have to have all these windows open. Here is your IF-AGC. I found that the IF-AGC auto is absolute junk. It does not work. I find setting the IF-AGC manually works much better on the software. It could be something to do with user error, but I have not found a way around it. The IF-AGC with this checkbox on is a waste, in my opinion, just from what I found. Now, I do have to change the output, the sound card output. Right now it's on speakers, and if I go to headphones, which I often do, I have to go to that, and that switches it over to headphones, right? Now here's the catch. If your headphones aren't plugged in, right, and this software is running, in other words, you don't stop it like this. If it's running and you plug the headphones in to the computer, you'll have to hard crash the software. Control-Alt-Delete, go into Task Manager and crash it. Completely brain wrecks the software. It does not do that in console. These are all things I found out. Now, these things are exclusive. These things are exclusive to my operating style, okay? Some people may not have a problem with this at all. Now, you'll notice where the noise floor is. So hence, this is why I leave this window open, the main spectrum window, because I can go in here and I can adjust this. I can also adjust the strength of the signals in the pan adapter. You can get those equaled out, balanced out. You can run this with a SP and waterfall. I find the waterfall useless just for me. It's more of a distraction than anything else, so I shut it off. Down here in the bottom right-hand corner, you've got your audio spectrum. You can drag this to, you can zoom it. Right now, default, I have mine when it opens up at 3 kilohertz. Now you can drag these, like if you're listening to ESSB audio, You can drag it out to 4 kilohertz. And by default, it opens just a little bit above or below 0. So what I do is I always drag it out, drag the bottom end on lower sideband out to the 0 mark, because you'll lose a lot of the low end if you don't do that on the ESSB audio. I don't know if it's cut off at 100 hertz or what's going on there, but I do that. Let's see. Little quirks. Here's a quirk I will show you. Let's say I want to go to 20 meters, right? So I go to 20 meters. So you click this button, boom. Takes the radio and everything, the IC 7300 to 20 meters. Now, okay, see, now you have to use this window again. I'll spin the tuner, make sure it's tuned somewhat close, which it is now. But notice this. Look at, you just lost all the freaking bandwidth again. It's only 14 to 14360, that 360 kilohertz of bandwidth. A little bit more than that. The only way to get your bandwidth back, I found, is to change your antenna receive system. So if I switch to diversity, watch what happens. 13.2 to 15.15. So the bandwidth is back. I mean, what the flipping heck is that, man? And, you have to go in, and fuss with this. And sometimes you have to fuss with the AGC and yada, yada, yada. One nice feature about Uno and is the notch filter. There's a good side and a very evil side to this. It's got multiple manual notch filters you can place in lines. So, let's say you go to here. Looks like we've got a birdie there, so let's zoom in a little bit. So let's get that into the passband. Okay, so if you look right here in the bottom corner, I'll zoom in a little bit. See this birdie right here? Bottom right-hand corner. Now, because the manual notches, if you have multiples of those, they can be very handy. So you click right here. Actually, you can hit the shift key, put your cursor on the birdie, hit shift, and click, and boom, just activate notch 1, and boom, that birdie will disappear. Very nice. Here's the evil side of this. It's manual, so I have to do it. If you're dealing with one birdie, the auto notch feature in SDR console is excellent. It will just turn it on and leave it on. And any birdies or any heterodynes or anything that are within the passband, it'll wipe it right out instantly. You don't have to do anything. It's beautiful stuff. Noise reduction, not impressed by the noise reduction on Uno. It's okay. Little too oppressive. So I think one of the nice features about Uno, and it's exclusive to Uno, is the diversity capability. That's really what I use this software for. I like the pan adapter only because it's very sharp and clear, and the detail on it is very good. I just like the way it looks. That's an aesthetic thing. Some people, whatever. But I really like it. Another thing I don't like about Uno, there's no built-in EQ ability on the RX sound card. In console, there is, which is really cool. If you're doing like FM work or anything like that, they have some very cool FM, like broadcast FM. Functions on their filters in the mode section window, which I'll show you, and then combined with high pass, low pass filters on the output, the sound card output and console. really makes it shine. I mean, you can do a lot with it. So that's pretty much it for Uno. The diversity end, very cool. No, Dwayne, no, it's inherent to this thing. It is quirky. I'm not bashing it. It's very, very good at what it does, but it is very, very primitive, I hate to say. Just having to have these windows open, these are functions as an HF operator in my operating style. I'm constantly in these two areas right here. These two windows have to be open. Actually, these three, because I run diversity. So if you can't save these windows to a workspace, then what the frick good is it? You know what I mean? Every time you open the program, you have to reopen these windows. I don't know. It's just, yeah, grates on my nerves. Hey, Florian, how's it going? How do you piggyback 7300? So basically, this is connected. I can't go into this, Martin, but this is, I grabbed the IF out of the 7300, and this is actually being used as the front end of the transceiver. I don't use the 7300 front end. I haven't used it in like 3 years because this is so much nicer. I've been running console with an SDR dongle. So let me shut this down. And we will pop open console. Get the radio running. Alrighty. So here we go. Okay. Now, hang on. Yeah, Dwayne, right? Okay. What did you guys just notice right there? Let me do this again. Check this out. Pay attention. Pay attention. Opening console right now. Now you can set this up to automatically connect to the radio. I don't because I run satellite. I do satellite work as well. And you can't have the radio running in console with the satellite tracking program simultaneously. So I have to start the radio. So in console, you can set it up. When you start this program, that's what you get. See what I mean? It's up and going. Everything's right here. You don't have to fuss with anything. You don't have to open a separate window for the pan adapter. You've got your high and low for the FFT, the spectrum. You've got your contrast systems, effects on the FFT. You've got you can preset your filter widths right here to any audio. Let me mute this. Any audio spectrum you want in this filter section. So I have, I think from 3 kilohertz to 6 kilohertz, I actually have 20 hertz of audio. Yes, you can see it right here when it pops up. 20 to 31 hertz, 3100 hertz of audio grabbed in a 3 kilohertz spectrum. Very, very cool. The AGC is very nice on this. If you need to go in and change IF AGC or anything, here you are, right here. The IF, the AGC on or off, IF gain, RF gain. Easy. Just click one of those. Another advantage to console is you have a spectrum, a cluster overlay. See these spots right here? These spots are being pulled from the spotting cluster. I think it's the V7CC cluster that I have active in here. And to enable this, I can't go into this whole thing, but you go to View. You want to make sure Markers is clicked on. Make sure Markers is clicked on. Go to DX Cluster, activate that, choose the cluster, put your call sign in, I think, and everything. And then Markers, there's a drop down here. Make sure that Markers and DX Cluster are checked, and then make sure that that window, you notice they disappeared right now? Make sure that that Markers, just click on this. See? and it'll take all of those spots and put them on the cluster. Now, I hear that they are working on that, and SDR Uno coming in a future release, which, who knows, could be a year or two before they come out with that. I think they move fairly slow from what I've seen. I don't know. It's 3 or 4 steps, I think, as far as updates go. Console is graphically intense. I think it's very user-friendly once you get your head around it. The noise reduction is superb. It eats Uno's noise reduction for lunch, in my opinion. There's nothing watery about it. If you run it on NR3, it is what I've been running for the past... I'm torn between the two. This one is so easy to run. It's so simple. It seems to function better with cat control than Uno. Now, if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, this is what it... Now, if you want a very low CPU usage SDR program, check this out. 0.1%. Now, my GPU is running at 9.3. Come on. Oh, my God. 9.3 to 10%, somewhere in there. The reason why is because this software is designed to use CUDA cores, which are built into the sound card. If you run an NVIDIA, a GeForce type sound card, you can get them with CUDA cores built in. Like this one's kind of a entry-level card. It's got 768 CUDA cores in it. So what that does is you can set console to offload a lot of the processing to the CUDA cores, which saves your CPU, offloads it to the GPU. Hence the CPU running at 0.0 to 0.1%. It doesn't take anything to run this software. As a result, it's very, very snappy. Now, keep in mind, this computer is a Core i7 Coffee Lake running at almost 4.8 gigahertz clock. The clock speed, and it's running 32 gigs of 3K RAM. So it's no slouch. It's a good computer. But even on the old computer, it ran phenomenal. I think I never ran more than 2 to 3% on the CPU on the old computer. So, yeah, this is... it has some advantages and some disadvantages. Of course, you can't run diversity with it. Do you need diversity? No. It's been very good for me. At times, it's not needed all the time, but sometimes it is very handy, especially for noise reduction. I am playing, it's coming up to that hour. In about another 20 minutes, I'm going to get a lot of noise on 75 meters, and it does seem to help. And for weak signals as well. Works great for weak signals and noise reduction, including static crashing, stuff like that. Okay, let me look at the chat and see if anybody's got any comments. Maybe you can point me in a direction I'm doing something wrong. About consoles, when I customize the ribbon bar with band shortcuts, they go away after... Ooh. Ooh, that shouldn't be happening. They go away after closing? So where are you doing them? Are you putting them into your favorites, Dwayne? Because mine didn't go away when I did it, but this was several versions ago. Oh, and by the way, this version of console is 3.021. I had to hard crash this for the very first time today. I don't know why, but it is a little glitchy. And also my audio is at 48 something milliseconds, which is not right. That should not be happening. So let me stop it. So there's definitely something wrong with this. With this version of console. Let me check. Yeah, that ain't right. My audio should be no more than 20 milliseconds. So something's not right here. Audio. The frick is going on with this thing? Speakers. Let me see where she's going to go. Climbing. Okay, 29. So if I move this back to default, buffer fill at maximum, should drop. There it goes. And I shouldn't get any stuttering. Keep going, keep going. Yep, so that's about where it should be. So 21 milliseconds, that's where it should be. It usually hovers around 20. Memories will save, but you right-click to customize quick access toolbar. Oh, I've never done that. Oh, that's funny. Okay, Dwayne, check the resolution. It may have something to do with the resolution, because I found that on the satellite section of SDR console, resolution is important. So let's say, so what should I put in there? At some point afterwards, when you close the program, come back, they won't be able to recording the message board. Simon is, oh, okay. So this is a problem. So this is just a problem. You can't fix it. Got it. All right. Not even going to waste my time. Okay. So basically, in a nutshell, I know, right? It's not what you're thinking. You probably thought I was going to get in here and I was going to bash the software, but I'm not. They both have very unique applications. I feel like console is more dedicated to the radios that they like. Check this out. See, if you open the DSP, where is it? How do you select the, can't remember where you select the transmit. See, it doesn't even display the transmit options. This is really designed, this software is dedicated to the Hermes weirdos. You know what I mean? The guys that are into the Hermes boards and it does have, it's very, like, the only way you can get it to truly connect to the radio in a 100% full-blown sense is if you run one of the transceivers that it's designed to run on, hence like Anon, whatever those things are that they run, I have no idea. I think it will interface to a 5000. You'll get full control right off the control surface of this software. Anything else that is tied to this software is basically an afterbirth. I hate to say it, it is. It acts like an afterbirth. It behaves like an afterbirth. It's trash. I mean, let's be honest. It's not. That's what I mean by piggybacked. This is an afterthought. These pieces of software are an afterthought. You know, this software was not created solely to connect and control a 7300. It wasn't. Neither was Uno. That's my point. It's not. I'm not bashing it. You just have to understand the limitations of the software. And I think once you get around that, you're okay. But, you know, speed, efficiency, console rules, in my opinion, over Uno. But Uno eats it for lunch when it comes to diversity. That's where it comes into its own. Same dongle, same bandwidth, doesn't matter. I like the EQ function in console. It can help you balance out your monitoring system, which is nice, or it can help it. You can tailor it to the way you want it to sound. You know, so I don't know. You know, I figured I'd just throw this out there. These are things that I came across, and It's a question of it's really a question of, I think my camera's out of focus. Yeah, if I look at the back of the chair. That's better. I guess you have to weigh, you have to look at your operating style and look at what you're using it for. Now, Rick, NA SDR, tipped me off. I wasn't aware of this. I was aware that November 1 Mike had a pan adapter for the 7300. I was unaware that you could control the rig with the pan adapter. He said you can. That is cool because, you know, I've talked about logging programs. So what I'm going to be doing from now on during the events and contesting, I'm going to be running the front end of the 7300 with November 1 Mike with a pan adapter because I like that visual aspect. The search and pounce function. That's where, like during events and contesting and stuff like that, that is really handy, man. Being able to look at a pan adapter, click on a signal, boom. It will also remember because it's connected to your log. It's all one. If you work the station, I guess he was explaining to me that it will come up as a different color and it will show. It'll cluster overlay over the pan adapter so you'll know who you've worked and who you haven't worked just by looking at the pan adapter. That is slick. So I'm looking forward to trying that. That's coming. So anyways, that's it, guys. I'm out of here. This was just a short and sweet little video. Figured I'd do this, and I can't remember the guy's name. He contacted me via email. Hey, Scott, from, I can't remember where he's from. And he was asking me where we were kind of talking about Uno and the different software. And I said, well, you know, I got to do a video on the differences between the two and some of the things I've come across. So hopefully he catches that. I may send him a link so he can have a look before he pulls the trigger, make him help a decision as to what to do. Anyways, I'm gone. See you guys later. Have a great afternoon. And 7-3. I'll check this one more time. Live streaming YouTube. Oh, that's cool. This Saturday. Ooh. That is awesome. Boy, that's early. That's great. Andy, thanks, bud. Hey, Jason. Hey, Mark. Yep. Worth trying. You may find that one works better for some things than the other and vice versa. So it's worth, they're free. They're worth trying. Console. Okay. I'll finish with this. You have Uno in console. Now, console, all of the settings in console are buried. They're buried deep in those menus under the tools section up there. There's multiple places, instead of, which annoys me a little bit, like to get the external radio running, to get it to connect to your transceiver, you got to do like back handsprings and backflips through a birdie building, you know? I mean, you have to look for stuff, and unless you work with it all the time, you can't remember where anything is. Uno's not like that. Uno, you can find all the stuff pretty easily. Console, no, it's buried in there. So, but once you get the hang of it and get it set up and running, see what I mean? When you saw it, you just open it, boom, there it is. It's running. Uno's not like that. Uno, you have to friggin' jump through hoops to get that friggin' thing configured every single time you light it up. Just, gets fatiguing after a while, but it works good. I like the audio clarity of it. Does sound a little different than console. And I like the way it looks because if you look at this pan adapter, right? Just take a look at this pan adapter quick for those that have never run console. Find it. Aesthetically, this is a very nice program. But see how everything's very soft in the spectrum? It's kind of nice. It's soft. But I like the detail in Uno. I do. I really like that type of detail, that very sharp, crisp look to everything. It's a personal preference, man. That's all it is. So take it with a grain of salt. I'm just telling you what floats my pickle. So, anyways, we'll see you guys later. 7-3 all. Thanks for watching.